So the Super Bowl is this Sunday, and for the first time in history, a sitting president will be at the game.
I think this a little fishy and shady.
How long has End Racism been in the end zone?
It's that time again to visit our favorite leftist, radical, communist hosts at The View, Anna Navarro, on not being able to speak out in public. So maybe now she can relate to some of us conservatives for the last 4 years. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let's watch this.
I was flying in from Miami, and this happens to me sometimes. But, I don't know that people fully grasp how hard it is, particularly at this time, to speak out. And it's very disconcerting and discouraging when so many people around me who used to speak out are not speaking out. It's so disconcerting to see so many people censoring themselves.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to my life. For the last 20 years, probably since 2008, when I came out against same-sex marriage, my friends were all of them in animation, video games, comic books, terrified. These are conservative Christians. They had to hear the rest of their coworkers talk all day, blah, blah, blah. We approve this, we approve that. Everyone who disagrees with us is hateful. They knew they would lose their job, be turned away for promotions, just have a massive online war against them if they spoke out. So now Anna Navarro gets to learn empathy. I don't know if she will learn it, because I don't think it ever goes inside. They never look inside and go, wow, I must have made a lot of people feel this way too. That's
when fascism takes over, when we start censoring ourselves.
Yeah, it's been 8 years of fascism, lady, under Democrats.
The fear, the intimidation, all those things are very discouraging. And sometimes I wonder, what's going to happen? What risks does it imply to be speaking out? But so I got this note from the flight attendant yesterday. She wrote it on a napkin, and she says, Mrs. Navarro, it was such a pleasure having you on board today. I really appreciate all that you do and everything you stand for. You are a refreshing voice of reason during these crazy times we're in. And so,
Hold on 1 second, Anna Navarro. I got a note too. Doug, you're a very sensitive person. You're an amazing, deep thinker. You have so much talent. Thank you for just who you are.
Sometimes people ask, well, who cares? What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Speaking up matters. Mm-hmm. And it matters to people because it lets them know that they're not the crazy ones.
Yeah, that's why I'm speaking up too. I'm letting all my people know we're not the crazy ones.
The crazy is what we are fighting against. And
that's what I'm fighting against too. Just the crazy is called Anna Navarro. It's okay.
I think it's very important to speak up on places like this podcast, on The View, on social media, whatever platform any of us have. Some of us may have bigger platforms. Some of us may have smaller platforms. But whatever platform we have, it's important to use it. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot of people who are tuning out. That's something that concerns me tremendously.
They're not tuning out on my show. They're tuning in. Our show's numbers are doing good thanks to all of you. You're tuning in. I love you guys.
People stop me every day, practically, and tell me, oh, I'm so glad I ran into you because I haven't seen you because I don't watch the news anymore.
No, they're not watching The View anymore.
Still watch The View. I was at the airport the other day, and this gate agent said to me, he said, I haven't seen you on CNN because the day after the election, we all took a vote. In our break room, we used to have the news on all day, right. Every day. We all took a vote, and now we watch National Geographic. I was watching hummingbirds this morning. The man said to me.
CNN is just like National Geographic, though. A bunch of orangutans running around screaming. No one wants to see that anymore. Oh, it's so good when you win an election. I hope they remain demoralized. I hope they all quit. I hope they keep tuning out because they tried to destroy this country and we're on the offense.
Yeah, but it seems healthy, but here's the problem. Mm-hmm. If we are tuning out, then we are not finding out about the outrageous abuses of power that Donald Trump is instituting in America and getting away with.
Outrageous. He's reducing the debt. He's cutting waste. It's outrageous to cut the waste and fraud.
And if we are not finding out about them, we are not angry and we are not taking any sort of action.
I'm not sensing that she is anywhere losing anywhere, like losing her anger. I think there's a lot of anger. Speaking of anger, here's Whoopi.
I said the Super Bowl is this Sunday.
Yes.
And for the first time in history, a sitting president will be at the game.
A sitting President Trump's going to the game for the first time in history. Another first for Trump. That's pretty awesome, right, Whoopi?
And it's already setting off controversies. Like after the NFL decided to edit their end racism slogan in the end zone for Sunday.
Okay, look at that. There's an end racism right above a team called the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. How about not insult all of your American audience?
Sunday's game. Now it's going to read Choose Love. The NFL says it has nothing to do with the new president.
President Donald J. Trump. 4 more years.
Attending. What do you think of this rewrite?
I think this a little fishy and shady.
Oh, really? Look at, there's Sunny Hostin putting on her conspiracy face.
Because what the NFL spokesperson said, that he said the decision was based on sensitivity to recent tragedies, including the terrorist attack in New Orleans, the deadly wildfires in LA, and the fatal air collision near DC. And I think that those are very noble things to honor and discuss. But I don't know how Choose Love, and It Takes All of Us, relates to that.
You don't relate to choosing love? It's like the only commandment we have is to love our God and love each other, and she doesn't like that. How about instead of end racism, we replace it with end DEI? That's racist.
So it seems to me like the end racism probably has a lot to do with the fact that the sitting president is there, and I don't.
And that he ended racism.
If you're a racist and you see end racism in the end zone, you're going to stop being a racist?
Maybe we don't need the reminder anymore. Sonny, did you ever think of that?
Know what everyone at this table thinks, but I don't think racism is over. And I think that it is a very noble thing to want to end racism so that we can become a more perfect union.
Yeah, well, I think ending racism, I agree that everyone wants racism to be gone. But what about ending not being loving? I like Choose Love. And that's something that I would think all of these 5, The View, communists, I think even they would agree with me that love is still a good thing to strive for. She's just angry that it's not divisive and exclusionary and judgmental. Choose love. It's positive.
But I would note, Roger Goodell actually came out.
These people will applaud at anything.
And said that he wasn't going to be ending DEI after a lot of major companies in America were saying that they were going to roll back some DEI. Roger Goodell, the chairman of the NFL, said that he I had to double check that. Said that he wouldn't be. So and because of that, I'm not sure that I would be able to assign motive that this is some kind of a change to appease Donald Trump because he's not in the actual action of the policy. I kind of saw it as maybe more all-encompassing of a number of tragedies and hardships that the country's dealing with. It's been a brutal month. Like, think of everything that's happened. I hate to say this. Like, I was thinking, oh, yes, it's in New Orleans. It was just a month ago there was this massive terrorist attack. So I'm going to not jump to the decision there that it may have been to try to appease him. I will say this. I generally don't like hashtag activism because I think that it could become a lazy way to not actually engage in the space. That said, I would question myself on that because I try to wear the hostage pin every day. This isn't freeing the hostages, but it's a little thing that means so much to the community it represents. So on that side, I do understand why people would like to see it there, but hopefully this represents all of those issues.
How long has end racism been in the end zone?
2021.
So before 2021, we weren't for ending racism. And then right after Black Lives Matter, they suddenly put up an end racism sign. You know, The View, their point of view is a toilet. I'm Doug in exile.
But the sentiment is basically don't be an asshole.
But I think it's an asshole to nag us during a football game about something that doesn't change anything or any. If I'm not a racist and I see it, it doesn't matter. And if I am a racist, it's going to make me more of a racist.
I think if you write "don't be an asshole" in the end zone, everybody will agree with that.
Well, the problem is, we all think the other guy's an asshole.
And no one thinks they're a racist.